think it's loading.
Yes, Ravish, it is visible.
So, Sahel, today we are going to start from the basic. For that, today, yesterday I was telling you about all this directory and all. So, just let me tell you what are these, like root, then bean, boot. What are these Linux directories are doing? You just need to know a bit, okay? So what is the use of root? A root directory that forms the base of the file system. You know what file system is? File system is nothing but a disk. In window, like our C drive, D drive, we are creating some drives, right? In same way, if you go to Unix, in Unix machine we have some file systems, okay, and in file system we will have to create some directory which are called folder in window. So here if you go to root directory, what is the use here? That forms the base of the file system. Root forms the base of the file system, means file system means it's a disk in window, okay? So don't be confused. All files and directory are logically contained inside the root directory regardless of their physical location, okay? Then slash bean, inside root your bean will be there. So it contains the executable programs that are part of the Linux operating system. So here we are having some example such as cat. Cat stands for what? By using cat we can see the content of the file. Cp, by using cp command we can copy one file with other folder, one file we can copy to from one folder to other folder, or also we can copy a file from one name to different name also. And ls stand for listing, we were discussed yesterday already. More also, to see the content of the file we can use more. Then you can see tar is written here. Tar stands for, tar command. Tar is for to create a tarball. Some multiple file will be there, we will have to combine all these file together and we will have to send file, like how dev team putting the package in the SVN server, and from there we are taking that package as a form of tar, right? All this file jar, var and other properties file, by clubbing all we'll have to create a tar, okay? So this is the use. Bean is responsible for that actually. And then slash boot contains the Linux kernel and other file needed by LILO and GRUB boot managers. Then slash dev contains all device files. Then etc contains most system configuration file and the initialization script, etc subdirectories, okay? So inside etc you will find the system configuration. In case you will have to define some environment variable and all, you can get some configuration inside etc also. And slash home is the home directory. Yesterday we by using cd command we moved to home directory. So The home directory is the parent to the home directory of the user. Suppose if you want to go to home directory, whatever user, like in Pliad we are having the applicative user is nzpped00, right? So where it is there in that directory, how will go for that home? If you put cd till symbol or cd enter, then we can go to this home directory of that applicative user, or maybe personal user also we can go in that way. Then comes to suppose proc, a special directory in a virtual file system. It contains information about various aspects of the Linux system. And slash root, which gives home directory of the root user. Then let me tell what usr contains subdirectories for many programs such as the X Windows system. Okay, let me tell other important var. Let me tell var contains various system files such as log, mail directories, print, spool. Spool I will tell you later what it does. Then it is etc., which tends to change in number and size over time. Okay, so means it is saying the size will be changing with respect to time. So like that, some directories are there. I will share this content. You will, if you want, you can go through it. And next part, yesterday we learned our ls command, right? So if you see, if you do ls-lrt, you can see this line. As I told yesterday to you, first column, what will be first column? Yesterday I told you. Sohail, tell me, what is the first column? First column stand for, first column represents what?
Is root set.
No, 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 no. I am telling about this first. Means from the left. From the left, the first column represents the whether it is file or directory or link. You will get from that only. If a hyphen will be there, then it is file. If D is there, then it is directory. If L is there, it is a link. Okay. So like that, let me show you what are the things. So first you can see first column, it is showing like text, file or directory or link or special block or special character file, like that they are telling. Okay, then second, permissions to user, group and other. Yesterday I told you, no, these are read, write, then blank means nothing. Here read write operation to group, then other for other only read permission is there. Here you can see read write execute permission is given to all. Okay, other read write execute permission is there, group read write execute permission is there, user read write execute permission is there. Okay, so then as I told you, 4, 5, 6 column user, group and all. Okay, then last 3 column like month, date, time. This is month August, this is time, this is date 9th August, this is the time. Okay, and this is file name, this is directory name. Got it? So these all the column I told you. Okay, got it? So go to next. So ls-l stands for listing. Okay, ls-r, r stands for reverse, t stands for time. Like that we have some options. You can if you want to learn more, you can you can check with ls options by using help command. Okay, so ls is done, and hopefully you don't have any doubt over ls command. If you are not using ls hyphen some options, if you type ls, then you can only see the directories and files. Okay, but if you are doing ls hyphen lrt, you can get when the file was created, what is the permission level, and what is the size of the file. Okay, uh, all these information related to the file you will get if you are doing ls-lrt. Okay, so next, yesterday I told you chmod, right? Chmod stands for change permission. Okay, you if you want to give some permission to a file or to a directory, you will have to give permission. So what are the permission, how we can give? Let me tell you the concept how we are giving permissions. Suppose you want to give permission, only want to give read permission, the permission will be like 400. Okay, you want to give only read permission to a file. Okay, suppose total is 7 actually. So how you will understand this? Total permission is 7. Suppose here I want to give, here 400 means what? First one is for user, second one is for group, and third one is for other. Okay, so here 4 means permission to the read, permission to the user, read permission to the user. Okay, suppose you want to give total number, if you want to give full permission to one user, what will be the command? The command will be 777. So So here read stands for 4. If someone want you to add write permission, then you will have to give 2. You will have to add 2. Suppose someone want you to add execute permission. Execute means X. Okay, here X. Suppose someone want you to add execute permission to a file, so the value will be 1. Okay, so suppose I ask Sohail just give permission to a file, only read permission to all these like group, user and other. To all you will have to give read permission only. How will you give? Chmod, then only read permission I told, right? So 444, then your file name. Okay, suppose I want to give permission read write execute permission to user. What will be the value here? I want to give read write execute permission for the user. What will be the value here? For read 4, for write 2, for execute 1. Add all 3, the value will be 7. Got it?
Yes, yes.
So suppose I told you, suppose if someone want you to add the permission of the user full, means read write execute all the 3 permission needed for the user, but for group and other only execute permission needed. So what will be the value here? For group what I need to put? Yes, and for other 1. Okay, then file name, like that. Suppose I want to give full permission to user. What will be the value here? 7. Then read and write permission to the group. Read and write permission to the group. What will be the value then? 6. And read and write permission to the other. 6. Okay, then your file name. So this is how we can add permission to the file. Suppose how we can give permission to the directory. For to add permission to a directory recursively, we can use -r, capital R. If you use capital R, then we can add permission recursively to the file which are there inside the directory. Okay, also you will get the permission in directory level also. Okay, so next thing is one more thing, Sohail. Like we put number, no? Suppose you want to add permission, you can put chmod. Let me show you. chmod here with xyz. Okay, here xyz only read write permission is there. Okay, so suppose you want to add read write execute. So suppose you want to read write execute, what command you have to use? read, write, execute. To whom you want to add? User. So u plus chmod u plus read, write, execute. Then your file name. What is the file name? XYZ is your file name. So after running this command, you will get here it is read, write, then hyphen, right? You will get read, write, execute. Here you will get X. Let me put enter. Now do ls hyphen lrt. Here you can see read, write, execute is there, right? And also how you can do, suppose someone asking you give read, write permission to user, group and other in the file xyz. So chmod, I am using number, okay. Read contains 4, write contains 2, so 4 plus 2 equal to 6. Chmod 6, 6 for user, 6 for group, 6 for other. Then file name, do ls hyphen lrt. See, 666 means read, write permission to all. You getting me? Like that you will have to give permission. Just remember one thing, always in our area don't add any write or execute permission for our clients are comes under others, okay, they are comes under others. So never, don't try to give any permission. In case you are adding any permission, just inform me before that, okay. Next we will go to grep command. So grep, it actually searches pattern. Grep, then we'll have to put the pattern name, then file name, okay. So how will have to grep a file? Yesterday I told you already, right? Suppose you want to search a file, so I want to search a pattern. I am going to search a pattern called Sohail. Where to search? Star. Here Sohail star stands for all. Out of all this file, this grep is going to search the pattern Sohail. Now you can see it is saying in the file is2cft contains the pattern Sohail, right? You got the pattern here, right? And grep as it is a directory, so data is a directory, so it is just saying a message. But the Sohail name, from where you will get Sohail? From this file, from is2cft so here you can see grep pattern star, search the pattern along with file name. Here it is saying file name colon pattern, we saw already, right? And also you can grep, then pattern, then file name. If you know the pattern will be there inside the file, you have to search in this way, grep pattern file name. Then v, grep hyphen, what is the option of I? Grep hyphen I, if you are using hyphen I, what is happening? If you are not using hyphen I, what is happening? Let's see. Suppose I am searching the pattern Sohail again, grep Sohail. Grape Sohail. Which file I am going to? I will have to search. IS to CFT config. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So I am searching now. You see. Did you get any output? Grape Sohail. Then IS to CFT config .dat. But here we did not get any output, right?
Yes.
But let me do once more. Grep. I am using hyphen I now. Okay. Grep hyphen I. Sohail. Then this file name. You get it?
Yes.
So you can see here the Sohail, the pattern Sohail we are getting by the line. Hi, this is Sohail. So how, what here I is doing this? I actually, you know, in the file the Sohail is written, the S is capital. From the pattern Sohail the S is capital, but here I am searching Sohail as small. All the K's are in small, so it unable to find it. And in next line I am using hyphen I. So even here I am searching, I am writing the pattern with in small cases only, but still as I used hyphen I, so it is going to search capital as well as small. Whatever it is going to search interactively, so it give you the output Sohail. Hi, this is Sohail. Got my point? What is the difference? If you are searching a pattern by using only grep command, if there is capital character or small character, then it will not get. But if you are using hyphen I, then you will get the pattern as output. Okay, search the pattern with case insensitivity. What? Insensitivity. So grep, only if we are using only grep command, then it is only search what you are searching. If you are using I, it will be case insensitive. Okay, whether it will be capital, whether it will be small, it don't care. It is going to give you an output. So if you use grep hyphen n pattern then file name, it is going to show you the pattern along with the line number. Let's see. See, here it is showing the line number as 1. Got it? Only one line is there, so it is showing line number 1. Let me change the line number. You will see the difference. So now you can see the line number is 6. Okay, also how we can get the all this content of the file along with line number, cat hyphen n. you can see, hi, this is Sohail. What is the line number? 6. So with the grep command, if you are searching the pattern grep and using hyphen n with with the option n, if you are searching the pattern, you will get the number of the line or row number. And if you are using grep hyphen w, no, search the exact pattern, it will search the exact pattern. Let us see. Grep hyphen w Sohail. This is searching exact pattern, means particular that word along with the line. Then if you want to, you know, suppose search expect the given pattern. Suppose we are searching Sohail, and now we will use hyphen v here. What you see here, Sohail, just have a mark. Let me, instead of star, let me put the file name. That would be. Sohail, you can see I am getting all these file, all these pattern except Sohail. So here hyphen v means it will ignore the Sohail, ignore the pattern, and that we are executing, that Sohail is ignoring here, and apart from Sohail all other pattern will be there in the output. Okay, so if you don't want to see Sohail, and apart from Sohail you want to see all other things, you can use grep hyphen v option. Like that, if you use grep hyphen l then pattern then star, list the file name where the pattern found in the current directory only, means it will search in all these file, means it will list the file name, what are the file that contain this particular pattern. Okay, then grep hyphen a 2 then pattern, it is showing print the line where the matching pattern found and the next two line, means grep hyphen a stands for after, a stands for after. Suppose you know, let me search rk grep hyphen what is the command here, see grep hyphen a, then after that pattern how much line you want to print. Okay, here it is taken 2, you can take anything, grep hyphen a, then after you will have to, let's suppose I am taking 3. Which pattern I am going to search? rk. Okay, what is the file name? See, rk, it give you the output rk, along with that other 3 line it copied. Okay, let's suppose you make 3 to 2. See, it print rk along with 2 other line, like that. So suppose for before you can use hyphen b option, for after you can use hyphen a option, and Hyphen C stands for the pattern that will be printed, and above one line and after one line it is going to print. Okay, so then E grep will be there. Just a second, got a call actually. Hey Monica. Which batch he want to run in debug mode? Oh, PD18 in debug mode. Just ask him if he want us to make on the debug mode. There will be a tomcat tom file, no, inside data. There is a file where you need to put debug. He expecting that, or he want to run, because that we can do. Just ask him once. Uh, uh, just ask him if he is expecting to configure the file from info to debug. Okay, he will share you the path also. He will share you the path along with the file name. Last time what? No, I think that is not the file. If he is expecting us to run it in debug mode, just fctom something, that file will be. So just ask him if he want us to change from info mode to debug mode. Not in Tomcat, but just ask him what is the file name. Otherwise, I will log in 10 minutes. Right now, I am in a session with Sohel actually. So I'll log in 5 minutes. Okay. So Sohel, where we are? So grep hyphen L, what it does, it lists the file. Oh, it has already been completed. We are in grep egrep. So suppose you want to search multiple pattern at a time. How you will have to search multiple pattern? So you will have to put pattern 1, then pattern 2, then hyphen, sorry, this is bar, then pattern 2 3, like that, or grep hyphen e, like that, or grep hyphen e pattern 1 double quote, then hyphen e, then again one more pattern, then at last you will have to put the file name, or you will have to put the star as well. So some other things are also there, like first you practice this basic thing once, then we will go with some advanced searching through grep. Okay. So grep is done today, and Unix directory is done, then listing is done. Okay, so these three things you just have a look and you practice it, and tomorrow we will start, like acd cot, those command we will see tomorrow. Okay.